Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sherry with Studio 28E, and I'm here to bring you a short video about this journal that I made. It's really was, trying to clean up scraps, trying to get things cleaned up and reorganized downstairs in my craft room. And so I had extra piece of cardstock that I didn't know what to do with, so I folded it over and I said, well, let's try to make a cute little journal with it. So it's made out of the paper bags that you get at restaurants with your silverware in it. And so that's the front, and this is the back. The button holds the twine that holds it together. And it's just a big fat one signature journal. And here's the cover with some, I'm not sure, I think this is fabric I got from Sheila. On the spine, we've got some dangly buttons. The front, we've got a Tim Holtz. I don't think they call them family, Paperdolls. And then just a cutout on the die cut on the back. And the ruffle is made out of a vintage flower bag. So on the inside, like I said, it's not fancy. It's just something I put together with some things I had left over. I was going to try to make it be like a grandma's book and say, oh, these are from whenever. So I started writing on things, and some things have little notes on it. This one says Grandpa Jennings, 1891. It's just a Tim Holtz. I think it is from family members, and I put a butterfly here in this little pocket. Some of the bags I left open, I didn't glue them back. I either had to cut the ends off to make them even or glue them shut or whatever. So this one is a pocket, but it's decorated with some vintage trim and some polka dotted fabric and some vintage zigzag. Not zigzag, yeah. What is that? I'll think of it. And I did put some of the Tim Holtz Paperdolls inside of a Rick Rack. That's what it is. Tim Holtz Paperdolls inside, and I didn't write anything on there or attach it. And here's just a page I drew that I had some scraps and put them together, and you can write on that. And this I put a piece of printed paper on, and you can write on the back of that one. Again, this one is another pocket, and there is nothing in this pocket. There's a little girl that I colored her dress in. And like I said, as I was working on it, I was going to make it like a grandma's, book that I found in the attic or something. But it didn't all turn out that way, but it all goes together. This is some antique trim, and I put some little pink, they're sticky. They're really not bling because they're not shiny, but they're pale pink. And there's the little dress, and on here I made out like it was made on March 1st, 1922, Esther's Easter dress. It was $6, rose pink cotton, creamy crochet trim, and then the measurements of the little girl. You could write on the back of that if you'd like. I'll put something more in it. This is Sari Silk. This is a piece of my eco-dyed paper. It's the other side. You can use this as a tuck out or just a flip out, or tuck spot or a flip out. Another piece of printed lined paper that I had. And you can write on the back of the pat page or on the bag itself. Here's another pocket. It has a tag inside. It just says registered number. You can write on the back of that or on the front. That's a Tim Holtz tag. I think most everything in here is Tim Holtz except for crochets or paper. This is Tim Holtz little girl, and I had a piece of doily that looked like butterfly wings. So I sat her on a mushroom, and I put that behind her to look like she had wings. And I added a butterfly and some little botanicals beside her. And the side over here says Mary Beth, 8/4/34, age 3, enjoying nature. This one is not a pocket. There's a piece of scrapbook paper that I had left over, And I drew lines on it so you can write on that. Here's a little cluster with an American flag, some blue jeans, and some plaid cotton, or calico, or whatever. There's a tag, and I got this punch out of a butterfly from Melissa Barnes, and it's, this wasn't a Tim Holtz. I think this came up from the Graphics Fairy. But everything, I didn't print anything out for this. It all came out of my stash, things that I had. The other side is a man and a woman, and it's another cluster. This is a piece of scrap fabric from some samples I received, some lace, I think that was a blouse, and here's some black lace trim, and like I said, man and a woman. And on this side, there's plenty of places to write. If you wanted to write in it, is another cluster with some kind of crocheted trim and a button and some rickrack and a piece of fabric. This is not a pocket. This one has a silhouette of a baby girl, and she's on a piece of lace, and there's a button, butterfly. I think that's the Paper Studio, if I'm not mistaken, and that would be from Michael's, not Michael's, Hobby Lobby. And this is a vintage piece of music paper that was avocado dyed. And it was used, it was in a book, a lesson book. There's a pocket with a Tim Holtz piece of paper, cardstock rather, and I made a journaling card using a man and a woman and a piece of blue jean or denim material behind them. You can write on that page. And over here I did label it September 3rd, 1927, Agnes and Roger Rumfield after church. Inside is another one of the tags from the Graphics Fairy, and it's just got a piece of fabric on it for a tab, and I've backed it with a piece of paper, so it's a little thicker and has a little more body to it. There's another piece of the printed paper, lifts up, and you can write on the back side of that. I will unstick this. It's not a problem. Here is a tuck. And you know what? I didn't even think about that. I put this little envelope in there and I glued it behind this piece of lace. So let's do this. That'll hold that there. Actually, that was just supposed to hold, and it does go back. So you can write on this and tuck it back in here. A little cumbersome. I don't know what made me do that. I knew what I was doing. I knew I wanted it just to tuck in the tip of the envelope to hold it there. And you can also tuck something behind that. It's a little flip out here. That's on a piece of my blueberry eco-dyed paper. There's a little piece of avocado dyed paper. Here's a piece of, just a piece of scrapbook paper, and a piece of lace with some little flat back beads glued on, and a little tag that you can write on. There's another piece of, well, it's the back of a bag, but I put the lines on it that you can write on. Here's a pocket that's a piece of yellow cotton and a Tim Holtz butterfly, and in this pocket I glued a piece of denim on the back for a background, and added these ladies and their daughters, or granddaughters, or maybe they're all sisters, I don't know. And there's a tag that says size 13.5. Somebody's got big feet. That's Tim Holtz. This is Baltimore, Ohio Railroad ticket, Tim Holtz. And there's a Jones and Graves drugstore or drug company tag. All of those are Tim Holtz. It's a blank page. Here's a page that just has a paper ruffle with a piece of daisy trim attached to it, and a little bit of bling on the bottom. On this side has a piece of lace and or an applique, I guess it is, and some gold ribbon, and several pieces of different laces, all attached. And you open it up, and there's a husband and a wife, and I did color the flowers there, and it says Mr. and Mrs. Alexander Whale, married 11/16/37. So it's kind of like a hidden picture. And you can write on this side. And here, I put lace down, and Tim Holtz floral kind of art, and 2 little girls, and I put, in this side, I wrote Gertrude and Opal Jennings, 8/10/1925, at the Hamilton's picnic. And this is a pocket, and it's got a red and tan piece of fabric on it with red rickrack, red button, and you can write on the back of this. Some more Tim Holtz. There's some Tim Holtz purple flowers. Looks like asters to me. Oops. A little boy. Looks like he's leaning on something. Another little boy with his hat in his hand. Little ballerina girl. And another butterfly. If I inked anything, it was just like the edges of the little Tim Holtz people, so they would stand out more. Here's another piece of the lined paper, and you can write on the back of that and on the bag. This one is a pocket, and this is, I put on here, Granny's hydrangeas. These are hydrangeas that I dried from my garden, and this is a jelly print I had done several years ago. I put netting over it because I'm always afraid my flowers will fall off, but I guess I really didn't need to do that. And there is a little bit of gauze behind there as well, or cheesecloth, whichever you prefer to call it. Here's another little side pocket or belly band or whatever you would like to call it, with 2 Tim Holtz men in it. This is just a piece of the avocado dyed paper, and it's got a Tim Holtz hydrangea on it, a pink one. Piece of my blueberry eco dyed paper. This is just one of the paper bags that I put some fabric strips on and an old button. And no, that's not in a pocket. And on this side, this is it a pocket? Yeah, this is a pocket, but I didn't put anything in it, I don't believe, no. And I made it kind of look like a wall, and I put Reverend Charles Moore, resting on the Baptist church wall, 9/3/27, and Regina Moore, which would be his wife. And here are 2 little girls. I named them Arlene and April Hamilton, 8/10/1925, and I colored in their dresses and added a floral piece of Tim Holtz florals and butterfly and a little label. And this is a piece of fabric. There's a pocket, and it's kind of purplish with purple and green, like an organza kind of ribbon and lace and a butterfly, and then one of those artificial wax seals, and I glued it together to use as a topper for the tag. Back and after. This side has 1, 2, 3, 4, an A, some buttons, and it's on some plaid material. That's actually flannel. This one has A, B, C, D, and it says Teddy, age 3½, March 3rd, 1920. And if you open it, you can see all of Teddy. He's something I printed. I don't believe he's Tim Holtz. And can lift him up and write. And I just glued a piece of fabric fabric on the edges for trim. The other side is blank for writing. This page is blank for writing. The back side of the piece of scrap paper. And this one has Natalie, 8/1925 is the date, and Norma, 8/1925, and they're just standing outside with mushrooms. And there's a tag in there that's looks like it was, well, I know it was made from a collage board or monster. I forget what they're called, masterboard. And a little piece of jelly print for the tab, and you can write on the back. And I also put some lace and some vintage flower bag fabric on it. That was kind of fun, but you know, like I said, I was trying to do it one way, and I kind of got sidetracked when I saw some different things, and I didn't really. It's just a journal, and a lot of writing space there for the size it is. There's a lot of writing space. Here's another just page edger, or page edge, if that's what you want to call it. And on the back side is a piece of music tissue paper. You can see the bag through that. And this is not a pocket. This is eco-dyed paper. This side's eco-dyed paper. And here is a scallop punch out with a man standing there. It's a piece of the same fabric that's on the front of the journal with a Tim Holtz butterfly. This is a pocket. It's just got a tag that's made out of some music, hearts with music. Came from a paper pack. I don't know. It could have been one of Michael's $5 or $7, whatever they used to do. I don't think they do it anymore. I haven't bought paper pads in a long time, so I'm not sure. But I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but they used to have like a special rack where there were special pricing. And this is just a page of a woman. We can assume that this is Granny at a certain age. And this is just a little girl that I printed from, I believe, the Graphics Fairy. And she goes in this little pocket here. And that's the end of that. And I think I said everything I'd say about it. It's not, you know, anything special, really. I just thought it was a cute little thing, and I got rid of some scraps. I finally used some of my Tim Holtz people that I've been wanting to use and hadn't used. So if you're interested in this, you can just, you know, contact me and let me know. I will be putting it in my Etsy shop, which is Studio 28E Journal Creations. And also today, I got rid of a lot of scraps that were sitting upstairs on my kitchen island. And this is one of, like, I took a mini coffee filter, and I made a little envelope similar to the ones that Melissa Barnes makes. And I'm going to put a little tag in that. This is an altered paper clip, and I left things scraggly and stringy and whatever. And let me find something that it can go on. And it just slides on. You can hang something off of there. I left a little opening. Here's another one with the hearts from that hearts pad. And I put some trim on it with some little blingy trim and then music paper on the back. And it came from that same Michael's pad. I can't remember what those were called. Like I said, it's been a long time since I bought a paper pack, so I don't know. And this does slide in here. It just, I think I might have glued it shut. Oh, there it is. And you know, you gotta some go over the page, some paper clips might go on, you know, the side, so you might have to pay attention to that, but that one's, you know, fine. Here's another smaller one that I made. And these are embellishments, and what I did was I put them on. I didn't want to cut out little backers for each one of them, so I put them on backers, and I will, you know, I made them on the backer, and I'm going to cut them out after. So this is some flannel and some denim, yellow cotton and a flower, and this is felt and pieces of lace and the flower, and this is some kind of yarn, I don't know, but it's really pretty. And a little blingy button, and hopefully they're all on here. But this is a piece of, you know how your lace will curl when you cut it, and we usually don't like that. Well, I said, well, I'm going to try something different with it, so I added this little bit of trim on the back with pom-poms. I put a Tim Holtz floral arch type thing there. I don't know what you would call it, like a swag, I guess. And I think that'll be cute. And here's another that I did basically the same way with I took the eyelet trim and did that. And then I had this red yarn. I don't know what that's called either. And then I backed it on a piece of that leftover fabric sample I had and put some of Tim Holtz's little flowers on there. And this is a good way to be showing these, but this is the way I'm doing it. This is, I believe, some fabric I got from Sheila, some lace from a blouse I got at a yard sale or at a thrift store. And there's some bling and some black lace. This one is just trims. It's ribbon, brown and copper trim, gold ribbon. This is gold sari silk, and this is just jute and then a flat back pearl in the center. And this one is a piece of my, what do you call that? Let me think. Snippet roll that I had made. So I cut a piece off and I put ribbon here, some flowers that trim at the top, and I put a little bit of glitter glue or stickles in the center and a little bit of bling, and then this heart trim ribbon. This one is the inside of a privacy envelope with a blue button and some lace and some jute. And this is just fabric. This is one of those faux wax seals, and I don't know if this brown, I can't remember if it was trimmed. This is sari silk, and this is just tan, like cotton. This one has some silky type of material, so I don't think it's silk, but it was all crumply and crinkly, and I took it and dyed it with some rusty nails and screws. Added some antique lace, some trim, and some Tim Holtz items. And this one is a scalloped punch out, and I added some pink stick-on. They're, like I said, they're not blingy. They were just pink, and then I added some stickles to the top of them, and this crocheted mesh, and this little Tim Holtz girl. This one is some fabric, some stretchy, glittery pink fabric, and I put some green floral fabric on top of that with pink lace. I think this is who makes the flowers? Prima Flower. And then I put this little pink bling in the center. And this is just a piece of calico fabric, another piece of fabric. This is bias tape or seam binding, and a crocheted flower. And I put a big glob of stickles behind it, so it does. You probably can't see it on here, but so it does show through the little parts on the flowers. So that's what I did this afternoon. And now I'm downstairs trying to organize things I brought down and finished off upstairs and find a place for them and keep on moving so I can start working down here all the time. Excuse me. Well, thank you for watching, and if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't joined the Facebook group Studio 28E Journal Creations, come on, stop over and join us. It's a very small group. It's more intimate and easier to keep contact with people. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. I would appreciate it. I would also appreciate that thumbs up. And please come back again for my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.